Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson on today. Lord, and the feed you, lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this 100% truth according to the spirits of be Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful lake that they're pushing this word to the four corners of the earth's sincerity. So y'all say shalom. And once again, I want to say call halal, which means all praises. Call halal Yullah, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being named the Heavenly Father, the regularly calls God, and Yahweh Shai being the name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the regularly calls Jesus Christ. Bahashim, Rachakwadash, you give me the spirit to do listen on today. Lord, and to feed you, lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. And yeah, this is a continue on from the live stream because I was trying to do a live, put up a live, Satan being active, probably first time in a minute. Really never happened actually, where the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi's been acting funny lately all day, so, it's not really too surprising to me that the Wi-Fi, while doing the live stream, kicked me out of the stream. So I'm gonna just do it here, and Lord willing, this is edifying, feature lamb and sheep, man. But as you see from the title, pretty much the title was prophecy. I don't want to play it. We're gonna scroll up. Pretty much the title of it was like prophecy. Nations hating the whore. You know what I'm saying? Something that those lines. Prophecy, nations hating the whore. And we finna go into BRICS because BRICS. Brothers. A lot of brothers should know about BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, Slovakia. How they're teaming up to make a currency that is pretty much going to overthrow the petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? The Federal Reserve, the dollar. And we know that usually what's the Federal Reserve, that, nation has the most power. And this is a display of showing how Esau is losing his grips on the nations, man. And this is a display also of how Esau's kingdom is falling before his eyes. Because the BRICS is, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But we know that the biggest contender, the ones bucking up against Esau, Edom, is, Russia, which in the scriptures is known as Gog and Magog. That's going to be the one to bring. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the chiefly one bringing down Babylon the Great with its 200, partaking in the 200 million thermonuclear missiles being shot over there. But they're going to be a big driving force to, bringing down Babylon the Great. Which, as Yahweh said in Matthew, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Because Russians are just mere Edomites also. But I want to get into it because you see the BRICS currency is coming. And it's just prophecy, and we're just getting excited, man. Because, second just 9 measures at a time, diligent itself. We measure the times according to prophecy, lining them up with prophecy. And we see that we're in the end times, and the third woe is going to come. And we know if the third woe come, MOTB, is around the corner too, because that got to be made mandatory under the penalty of death. You know what I'm saying? That's here. It just hasn't been made mandatory, the penalty of death. And we know World War III is going to happen, and boom, Yahweh will be here. So we're close, man. So I'm going to read a little bit of this, pull some scriptures of the Lord, and this is edifying the feast of lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. But it says, BRICS group invites 6 nations, including Iran and Saudi Arabia, to join. Man. And then you see that number 6, man, because we know that because it's dealing with, the devil, you know what I'm saying? Because we know who runs the world, the rich banking families, and this is really all a part of their plan. That NW, what? It says BRICS group invites 6 nations, including Iran and Saudi Arabia, to join. The BRICS economic group has invited 6 nations to join the rank. CNN's David McKenzie reports from Johannesburg, right? And I pretty much think that's it on that. You could really go into it some more. It's really the clip right here. It's just really pretty much going to how they invited 6 more nations, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get some more because when you go into the BRICS, full name BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, you can just go up and look up a couple stuff, man, you know what I'm saying? Because you got the BRICS, which is a new association that came out. It says the BRICS, the original acronym BRIC, or the BRICS, was coined in 2001 by Goldman Sachs economics Jim O'Neill to describe fast-growing economics that he predicted I'll get him out in a little bit. Um, it says by Goldman Sanchez Economics Jim O'Neill to describe fast-growing economics that he predicted would collectively dominate the global economy by 2050, which is not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But that's their goal. But it says, I want to go right here. It says, how would the BRICS affect the U.S.? It says, reduce the influence of the U.S. on the global stage. And why? Because we're going to read it. It says, the power of the U.S. dollar wields its international affairs in profound. So since the U.S. dollar is the highest currency on the earth, on the planet Earth, it allows their influence to be maximized upon the planet Earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it says in Jeremiah 51:7, you know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great is a golden cup in the Lord's hand, which all the nations have drunken, and they are mad. And this is a display of the nations showing that they're mad because they're tired of that wine, that philosophy, the stuff that Babylon's pushing. They're tired of that, so they created this thing called BRICS, which is pretty much literally to combat that, which is a display of the nations being mad at this whore, man. Because it says reducing the influence of the U.S. on the global stage. That's what BRICS is going to do. The point of BRICS coming into play, having these summits, you know what I'm saying, is to reduce the influence of the U.S. on the global stage. Right there shows you how Esau is losing grip, man. It shows you how Esau is soon coming out of power, because this is, of course, we know this is, you know what I'm saying, plan, demo, you know what I'm saying? Don't want to say the full word, you know, I ain't trying to get strike. You know, I got one on my left and trying to keep it coded up. The code words up, but you know, this is planned. And this is really all prophecy. This is ultimately planned by Yahweh, by Shema Shai at the end of the day. You know, he created the wicked for the day of doom. So these acts that these nations are doing, and Esau is reacting to it, you know, how the U.S. is reacting to it, is all part of prophecy, man. And let me see. It says the President Cyril Ramaphosa, who decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. It says what countries want to join the BRICS. And man, come on now. And we just going through some of the things. It says so-called middle powers have much greater. But the main thing was that how would the BRICS affect the U.S.? And, you know, 55 American dollars equal one brick. So they're taking since the U.S. dollar is the strongest, you know, what usually is the Federal Reserve note, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much what usually is the reserve note is has the strongest influence on the world. And now the BRICS will have the strongest influence. But we know, according to the lens of prophecy, this is just a display of the nations, you know what I'm saying, these nations arraying themselves against Babylon the Great in war. Because this is an act of war, too. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take away the influence. And in order for you to take away the influence of the one that's a ruler, he has to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to just be handled like, okay, y'all got BRICS out. Y'all got the world now. It'll be, a means of war will have to happen. You know what I'm saying? So this is Jeremiah chapter 50. And actually, I want to get it in the NLT. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get read it in the KJV. It said, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, which means in the acts of war against her. Because if you set yourself in array, that means that they're going to put on a tire the fight against somebody in array. What's that array against Babylon the Great? War. Warlike means. And it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. And it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, it wasn't a nation that came from the north country that was arrayed. Nah, man. Babylon, that's not how Babylon got overtook, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, for lo, I was raised and came to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall they be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And what arrows are referring to? The 200 million thermonuclear missiles. Those are the arrows that they're referring to that's going to come upon Babylon the Great, that's not going to break their ranks. Like I said, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So they're going to do what they need to do, which is destroy Babylon the Great and make it a desolation, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get this other scripture. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And we see that, man. We see the third woe is coming quickly, because look at these acts and means that these nations are doing. You know what I'm saying? They're sitting here arraying themselves against Babylon the Great, showing that they're not down with this place, man. Showing you that they're not down with Babylon the Great. And I want to get another scripture. Because it's not just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say, I know it's in Obadiah. Yeah, Obadiah 1. Well, that's only Obadiah. I can't spell like that. This is Obadiah 1 in the NOT. Because it's talking about Babylon the Great, which is ran by Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? So it says, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. And that's what you're going to see happen too, because of course these BRICS nations that are not allied with Babylon the Great, but even Babylon the Great allies is going to turn on Babylon the Great, man. They're gonna reject the whore. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna reject the whore, because it speaks about that in Revelation, man. Those 10 horns hating the beast, eating her flesh with fire. It's going to them other nations and even the allied nations, man. They not gonna be down with Babylon the Great. They gonna shoot a couple missiles at Babylon. I wasn't messing with Babylon anyways. You know what I'm saying? When you see the vulnerableness, you know what I'm saying, of Babylon the Great, when the Lord breaks this place down, man. Because we see the Lord already breaking it down now, but we see a display of the Lord transferring powers by having these nations think that they're up next, knowing, pursuing the second Ezra 6 and 9, Esau's anyone, Jacob at the beginning that follows. So these nations that acts, they're just fulfilling the Lord's will. As it says, I should put it in their heart to do my will. It speaks about in Revelations. So this is just all part of prophecy, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to play this clip. I want to play this clip right quick about a brother. Let me see. So like y'all see him playlist and stuff. Let me see. I was watching it earlier. There you go, right here.
A new think tank report provided first to NBC News concludes that the ballistic missile launched by the regime on July 12th was likely the product of technical cooperation with Russia. The new missile is a significant advancement for North Korea and significant escalation in the country's threat capability. NBC News chief foreign affairs correspondent.
And before you even finish out, look at it. It says previously on GMS Watchmen, the video he previously uploaded, says Kim Jong-un orders to boost missile production, says prepare for war. That's that Jeremiah 50. The nations arraying themselves against her. They're preparing for war while America is sitting here on a high horse just chilling. Especially the people in America. Now, we know the higher ups in America know war is coming. But the people in America, they're not preparing for war. Drafting all these women. Come on, man.
Andrea Mitchell joins us now. Andrea, what do we know about the capabilities of these missiles?
Well, it's a very alarming report, and this is from a new study from Beyond Parallel at CSIS, a think tank here, and Victor Cha, who is a contributor to NBC. And it was first reported by us that this new North Korean missile, tested in July 12th, is nearly identical, Ellison, in appearance and in trajectory data to a Russian missile that can penetrate U.S. missile defenses and carry multiple warheads across the Pacific and to the continental United States. In fact, as far as right here in Washington.
That's what you could say. The weak have said they are strong. How do we say they're strong? Because they backed by Russia, man. That's why the weak say they're strong, man. Because King Jong, they wouldn't be able to just face America alone. They're not a threat. But Russia backing them up makes them a threat, man. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, you know, saying it was an after camp by the apostles. After camp, you know what I'm saying, video about the apostles. It's going to how, like, you know, Russians have the most grand masters when it comes to chess. So like the Lord just has it set up perfect. Like everything is just in line. Like Russia has the most grandmasters when it comes to chess. So that means that their tactic and their masterminds when it comes to this war stuff, man. So man, the Lord knew. It's all falling in line with prophecy, man. It's beautiful.
D.C., the nation's capital. So it is a significant advance. It's also being reported as a real trouble spot by South Korean intelligence tonight and confirmed by U.S. officials.
Yeah, I mean, assuming this was in fact the product of Russian cooperation, which the evidence you just laid out there is incredibly notable, what would that suggest about the relationship between North Korea and Russia right now?
Well, it's been close for quite a while, but this test shows a lot of new evidence. First of all, Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, met in Pyongyang with Kim Jong-un just 2 weeks later after the test on July 25th. And this was to further cement their ties, and notably he came on the 70th anniversary of the armistice, so that's the founding of their nation. Then Russia was already helping North Korea with energy and food, which they need desperately. North Korea has been providing Russia with weapons to rearm it for Ukraine. So all of this is troubling. After that, Kim Jong-un came out with a statement of partnership with Vladimir Putin. So it is a much closer connection. And all of this in violation of UN sanctions. And this will all be part of tomorrow's big Camp David summit, the first of its kind, when President Biden is for the first time hosting the leaders of South Korea and Japan to discuss the growing threats in the region, which certainly include North Korea, but of course also what to do about China. So a lot of issues on the table tomorrow in Camp David.
In the skies near Japan, F-15s on the hunt for a suspected North Korean intercontinental ballistic missile, capturing what could be its last seconds in flight. This rare video, released by Japan's military, experts say the burning object resembles a ballistic missile boost rocket re-entering the atmosphere, flying for about an hour at hypersonic speeds.
If there's no interception or the interception fails, an ICBM launch from North Korea would take a little bit more than 30 minutes to reach the homeland U.S. and also depending on if it's the West Coast or the East Coast will take slightly more time.
Chinese scientists simulated a North Korean nuclear attack. According to the South China Morning Post, the simulation shows 33 minutes from the time of launch to the time of impact if U.S. missile defenses fail to shoot down the ICBM.
Missile defense begins here.
For years, U.S. leaders have reassured the public.
The nation should be very confident.
And America's allies.
Easily shoot them out of the sky.
Missile defense systems can keep them safe. But virtually all ballistic missiles travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound, sometimes faster.
It's been described as hitting a bullet with a bullet, trying to hit a warhead.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
A report last year finding America's missile defense system, the nation's best, perhaps only line of defense, only succeeds about half the time.
If North Korea were to fire nuclear-armed ICBMs at the United States, we cannot be assured that our missile defense system would prevent the deaths of millions.
A U.S. Missile Defense Agency report last year said the missile defense system has demonstrated a measured capability to defend the United States, deployed forces, and allies from a rogue nation's missile attack. But that rogue nation has a fast-growing arsenal. Kim Jong-un's military is mass-producing ICBMs. He knows a barrage of ballistic missiles could be too much for the U.S. to shoot down.
Well, I mean, it's pretty sobering reporting, especially considering so many of these missile defense tests, the missile defense shield tests, have not gone well for the United States. And you're talking about North Korea specifically with these missiles. What about missiles that would start from China or Russia?
Well, this is the scary thing that a lot of people probably don't know. Yes, the U.S. missile defense system might be able to defend against an attack from a rogue state like North Korea as long as their program doesn't get too big, or maybe Iran. But China, Russia, the size of their arsenals, if they launched nuclear missiles at the U.S., just like if the U.S. launched nuclear missiles at them, there'd be no way to shoot even close to all of them down. It would be essentially, this is the definition of mutually assured destruction. North Korea is trying to get there too. They're trying to get to the point that the U.S. wouldn't be able to shoot their missiles down, because then they become a nuclear power, which is what Kim Jong-un has always wanted.
And as you see right there, man. Hey, it's plain, man. The U.S. is done. So, hey, man, Lord, what this is edifying. Feed your lemons. How about your mouth? Go subscribe to the Ox channel, man. GMS Watchmen. And Lord, this edifying. Feed your lemons. How about your mouth? And to your Akim Aqua, to y'all, I say shalom, man.